When you think of westward expansion, what do you think of? The Oregon Trail, buffalo, or pioneers, Indians, explorers, or the promises of the uncharted West? How about all of them and more? This is westward expansion. Like you might have thought earlier, the Oregon Trail was a big part of westward expansion. The exploring of Oregon country was started by mountain men. These adventurous hunters headed west in search of furs to sell and trade. When the mountain men came back east with lots of furs and other goods, people realized how much potential Oregon country had. Some headed west on the Oregon Trail for a new start. Add Mexican land and American citizens and you get Mexican Texas. From 1821 to 1830, 20,000 Americans settled in Texas. As the Americans settled, Mexico feared losing their land. Americans supported Tejanos and tried to get rid of Santa Anna. A fight broke out, including the well-known Battle of the Alamo. Although the Americans lost, they didn't give up. They won the Battle of San Jacinto, gaining Texan independence. To annex or not to annex? That is the question. The huge region owned by Mexico in the 1840s was called the New Mexican Territory. William Becknell led some traders from Franklin, Missouri, across the plains to Santa Fe. As others followed, the route became known as the Santa Fe Trail. All of this expansion was supported by the idea known as Manifest Destiny. This is the idea that Americans could and should spread their culture across the continent. When James Polk took office, possibilities of war loomed over Oregon and Texas. Because of this, Polk decided to split Oregon with Britain at 49 degrees north to avoid fighting Britain. There were problems with Texas, though. The U.S. annexed Texas, but because Sanheusen tricked them into doing it. Obviously, this made Mexico mad. Fighting carried on until 1847 when the Americans controlled all of California and New Mexico territory. This land became ours with the Gadsden Purchase. Olé! Now, Americans headed west like crazy. Missionaries had already settled in California, but only few lived there. These people raced out to California to make a living on gold. The gold rush brought many different cultures to California. People from Hawaii, China, slaves from the South, Italians, and more. How did they all live together? Well, it is too complicated to write it all down. So expansion in the U.S. started with Oregon country, then went south to Texas. We told you about settling in New Mexico and California and how violent things got when we annexed Texas. So as you can see, the fight for the West was full of adventure, failure, and victory. Cultures combined and the West became what it is today.